Alright, good morning everybody. Tony B here with Sunny Oak Hills. Well, we are not at Sunny Oak Hills again. We're spending a lot of time down here at the camp. Had to go back to Colorado after we finished the smokehouse build, and then was able to come back in town this last Wednesday, which today is Friday the 23rd of January. Got back in town Wednesday afternoon, did our grocery shopping, all the things we need down at the camp, and did some fishing yesterday down at the river. We were trying to target what we call crappie or crappie, or some folks call it the succulate. Great fish, but for the life of us, we just can't seem to find them. We did have success. Got three nice largemouth bass. So last night we enjoyed some fried fish. Dad had went hog hunting at least the other day. Was able to harvest about 140, 150 pound hog. Ended up taking that in town to our processor there just because it was late and he wasn't planning on staying here at the camp that night. So to avoid being up till midnight, it was easier to just drop it off to the Deer Shack there in Panama City, and they're going to make us some nice link sausage. But he did have them cut the inside loins out. Oh, we got Tyndall rocking and rolling with the Jets. That is so cool to me. These guys are doing some cool things for America. But anyway, we had pork tenderloin on the Traeger. We had fried largemouth bass that we caught yesterday. We did do some mashed potatoes and a salad. So we ate pretty good last night. But today we're going to be doing kind of a multitude of things, and we're going to make it into two different videos. But we are going to do a European skull mount. Something kind of cool that I've always wanted to do. I've never done it before, but excited to try it, and hopefully it'll turn out good. So what this is Dad shot this buck last year at our hunting lease. It's like a 9-point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So for Florida, it's kind of a nice looking deer. Very unique rack, I thought. Got some long tines on it. He got that last year, and when I say last year, this would have been the 24-25 hunting season, and not the current season we're in now, 25-26. You can see he did put our tag on it. So nice little buck he shot. He had two good buck last year. This one and another 9-point, significantly bigger. And Mr. Travis over at Forgotten Coast Taxidermy in St. Joe, he should have that ready for us, hoping tomorrow or Sunday. But would love to see that deer go on the wall inside the camp while we're here. I've been excited to see that. Mr. Travis does a lot of competition taxidermy, and I know it's going to be a good looking mount, so excited to see that, and glad the dad can have one to hang up. Now I'm still working on a nice buck to shoot or to be able to mount. Did have a couple of decent bucks a couple years ago, but nothing that I really wanted to mount or do a European with. We just cut the horns off and hung them up on the shop. But I will probably end up mounting them on the smokehouse here. If you guys watch the videos of the series that we have out on the smokehouse, you can watch the full build and see how we started this project and how it's turned out. We're probably going to burn another fire in it today, just to continue seasoning it. It is looking really good in there. Spin you. Take a little quick peek inside and see, but the wood is seasoning up really nice, getting a nice little black layer on it. We have our 1¼ dowels, and then here's our meat hooks that we will hang the casings on. So looking forward to getting this 100% seasoned, and then start putting some sausage in there that we make ourselves. But today we're working on a European mount, and kind of the tools that I think we need. When I say I think, this is going to be a lot of YouTube watching, because that's what we do. We love watching YouTube and getting ideas. So we have the deer head, obviously. We're gonna need some electrical tape, screwdriver, needle nose pliers, a knife, some saran wrap, plastic wrap, and then this is like you just say concentrated version of a peroxide. A lot of salons use it. I got it from Amazon. Over here we have our pot going with just some water. We are going to add some Dawn dish soap in there. That Dawn will help degrease all this extra stuff on the deer. I mean, Dad did skin it out, took the hide off, but we know there's going to be a lot of grease that will help with that. But we are getting our water going. Now, from what I understand, this should not be a boiling water, just a simmer. And here in a few minutes, we will get the buck head put into here, get them set up, and we're going to let them go for about an hour and a half, I guess. We'll check it, and then bring the pressure washer out, do all the work on getting all the loose stuff off of there. We want this to be down to just the bone and the horns. If we leave any organic matter, whether it be tissue, meat, it will be a problem for the mount and kind of ruin it. We don't want this thing stinking. We want it to look good, clean, white. So it's going to be a process that we'll be filming the duration of, and hopefully we've watched enough YouTube videos that we know what we're doing, because first time for me. So follow along. Hopefully we have success, and let's see how this thing goes. We have the water on the pot here. Kind of tested putting the deer head in the water itself, get the water level where we want it to be just covering the skull itself. We don't want it to be a rolling boil. I think just a good simmer. Just checked with my thermometer, and we're about 120, 130. So I think we're going to go ahead and put the deer skull inside the water. Add some Dawn. Not promoting Dawn, but that stuff does a great job of degreasing, and that'll just help break down the extra grease, the organic material that's on the skull itself. So we're going to go ahead and put the skull in, and then we will add our Dawn, and we're going to monitor the boiling effect that we have. Just want a good simmer. Don't know if there's an exact science of how much Dawn to use, but everybody says more is better, so we're going to put more in there. We're going to let that go for, I think, about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then we'll pull it out, see how it's doing. Yeah, this is a new thing for me, so I'm going to try to do a good job on it. I want to be able to hang this thing up, make Dad proud. Let this thing do its magic. And it's currently at 9 o'clock right now, so we'll check it at about 10, maybe 10:30. See how things are coming along, and then if that's ready to go, we will pull it out, start cleaning up the junk, the funk off of it, get down to just the bone itself, get the pressure washer out, and get this thing moving along. So I'm excited to watch it. I've seen so many videos, and it's easy to watch videos and say, oh, I understand this. I think watching videos and doing it is two different things. So we're hoping this turns out the way we want it to. I'm not worried about wrapping the horns right now. I will be doing that when we start doing the salon care peroxide, the high strength peroxide, to get the whitening of the skull. I don't think it's necessary to wrap the base of the horns now. I hope not. If it is, then I've already screwed up and I'll be aggravated. But I think for just the hot water and cooking down that organic material, we should be okay. All right, well, we'll just let this do its thing, and we'll carry on later. All right, so we've been going about 40 minutes so far. I don't know if you guys can see the water. We're not boiling, it's just moving the water, so I guess you call that a simmer. Not really a cook or anything else, so don't know if I'm calling it the right stage of water, but let's just take a little quick peek and see. Yeah, things are starting to break loose some. we're going to continue to let that guy go and do his thing for a while. Probably check on it again in about another 30-45 minutes and see how we're looking. Here in Florida, I mean, there are some good bucks for sure. There's bucks that will score in the Florida registry, which a registry is anything over 100 inches. And I really can't remember the score of this. It was under 100 inches, but the other one that Dad killed last year, so he had a good season. Killed two nice bucks. That was 126. If that sounds right. This one probably, upper 90s, maybe mid 90s, but we saw him on camera several times, and the landowners, they want us to practice, obviously taking out good bucks. We have to have at least a 16-inch main beam, at least 12 inches of a width of the rack at the widest point, and then has to be a 3.5-year-old deer. I think this one was 4.5, I believe. I think it was 13.5-ish wide, but just I loved how unique he was. Very symmetrical except for these couple of this point here, which is probably 2.5 inches tall there. If it had been mirror over here, it'd have been the perfect symmetrical buck. He was a good looking deer. We've enjoyed eating him. We did get him processed as well, and made some good sausage and some good backstrap. And end of the day, you can't eat horns, so we do try to practice harvesting a couple of does. We have not shot a doe yet, and this will be the first year that we really haven't killed a doe. And I really think it's just a bit too late to do it now. The rut, which is where the bucks go crazy and they're chasing the does. We're starting the cycle of life of breeding. Excuse me. And I would hate to take out and harvest a doe that would possibly, we take out one deer from the herd, but we could be affecting as much as 3 deer. Minimally 2, but could be 3 deer. And older I get, I appreciate letting some deer walk. I think it's good to keep the harvest the numbers correct and accurate, and try to not to have too many does, not to have too many bucks. And the good thing is where we hunt at, we've got a lot of small bucks coming up. We've only harvested, I think, 1 to 2 does for the last couple of seasons. Again, this year we have not taken a single doe. We saw a handful of them, but I think we've seen more bucks this year than we have does, or at least as many. And I think the 1-to-1 is a tremendous ratio to be at. Not a biologist, didn't go to school, don't know for sure all this stuff, but just common sense of hunting and trying to keep the population intact. And understand that when we say we've seen these deer on camera, well, we have about 2,000 acres of a total 4,000 acre lease. But Dad and I take the 2,000 acres, and one other guy, Matt. We probably only hunt about maybe 1,200 of that 2,000, the way we have our stand set up. The landowner does have cattle, so they will bring in cattle to feed in the pasture. So we have a mixture of clear-cut fields, some tie-dye swamps, cypress heads. We have a good bit as pasture land. And this is the first year we really had to handle the cows. We'll have to kind of rethink how we do our feeders and stuff like that. But I think we will be. I don't see any problems now. I think I just got used to when I used to hunt when I was younger. We had a bunch of woods. We may have an area that the timber company came in and took out maybe 50, 100 acres of land and clear cut it. That stuff regenerates, and you get great ground cover that deer love to walk through. And this is just pure pasture now. So it looks different, but we actually have a feeder set up on one of them, and we do see deer and we do see hogs. Granted, most of that is at nighttime, where we can't legally hunt, obviously, but it shows that the landowner is taking the time to make the ground useful. But we do have a couple of fields that have not been converted yet, so we do have some tie-dye swamps. I call tie-dye, could be cypress swamps, just areas that they're wetlands that will never be planted, they'll never be cut down. It's just natural Florida growth. So this guy came out of one of those tie-dye swamps, and down here in Florida, where we have really hot temps, that swamp is significantly cooler during the daytime than being out in the middle of a field or even just walking through the woods itself. So I'm excited. Gonna have to rethink how we set up our feeders, because come to find out, cattle love when hunters put out feeders with corn. They love that stuff. So we want to grow the deer there and not grow the cattle. We'll leave the cattle raising to the landowner. They're good at that stuff. But these deer, we see them on camera, and then we may not see them again for 2-3 weeks, month and a half. Then they'll pop back up again. We saw this guy at 2 different stands. That's the hard part about having multiple stands, is that if you're sitting in this one, you can almost guarantee if that buck comes out that morning, he's going to be in a stand you're not sitting in. And the one that Dad killed before this one, in December of 24, it's a nice, beautiful buck. But he was at 2 different places the year before, and we decided to abandon that one stand and just concentrate on him coming to this one. But why have 2 spots? If we can move him and get him to come to one area, our odds go up a lot of harvesting that buck. So worked out good. This guy said was at 2 or 3 different stands. Happened to be the right place, right time, and Dad made the shot and knocked him down, and we put him in the freezer for the year, and here we are finally getting around to doing this European mount. So, all right, let that keep going for another 20 minutes, 30 minutes now, and we'll get back and see how it's looking. There'll be time to pressure wash and start cleaning out all the gross stuff. May not show a whole lot of that, but probably do a little tidbit just to get the idea of what it looks like when it comes out of the water. Finished up our first step of the putting it in the water. It just wasn't boiling, just more of a simmer. What we were after is to get all this organic stuff kind of cooked away, I guess, the best way of putting it. Get down where it's just the bone. All this will be tender, so we'll come in here, snap out these earbuds, pressure wash everything, basically everything left of it, except for the bone we want to get removed. And then from there, we'll put new water, new solution, let it go for another 30-40 minutes, and then hopefully we're in a good spot. So got my dad here. We call him Papa T. Trying to figure out exactly where the name came from. Is it Christy or Laura? Hurricane Michael something is where we kind of developed it at. But
quite another nickname.
Yeah, he's called Grandpa, Dad, Daddy. Long time ago, you were Get Pa with my kids.
Yeah.
But give him a chance to kind of explain this deer and how we saw it on camera and kind of the whole process of getting him on the ground.
Yeah, with this is actually the second 9-point that we got in one season. This one walked out late in the afternoon out of broom straw. I guess it was waist high, and couldn't see his head at first. It was just he was holding his head down below the broom straw. Once I got out in the open, got a look at him, even without the scope first, I knew this was a shooter for sure. Hit him with one shot. He turned around, I guess, and run maybe 60 yards. At least it was out in the field and not in a swamp.
Those aren't fun to go track.
By no means. Was able to drag him out and load him myself, thanks to the little winch that we had to put on the back of the truck. Nice way to end the evening. This is my first time of doing a European mount with
Yeah, we're not experts at this. This is our first time, so we're winging this and watch a lot of YouTube videos, and hopefully we follow directions pretty good.
It's a whole lot cheaper than having a taxidermist to mount him for sure.
Yeah, this is a much cheaper alternative and just a different look, and I think for this being a Florida deer, it's a good looking buck. I love how tall his tines were, just the shape of his horn. It's one that I think will look pretty cool doing this if it turns out the way we hope it does. But we're going to get him over there on the pallet, get the pressure washer out, and kind of make a mess of getting all the junk out of there and get down just to bare bone and bare horn. So we'll time lapse that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, well, hopefully we don't tear it apart. One thing, you can hold that still there. These areas right here, and we'll see it better once we pressure wash, they are notorious for breaking off. Hoping we can avoid that on this. If it does break off, we know super glue is the accepted use on that. We'll just put it back on and it'll be fine when it's all said and done. We just want to make sure that we're not spending too much time on one area and with that pressure washer and blowing through the bone, and the bone is weaker now than it was before, obviously. So we're going to be delicate and try to do a good job, and hopefully we do it right. It's already a weak part, but we're going to try it. I mean, if it does pop off, we just save the piece and super glue it back on. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
All right, let's go get messy.
All right.
All right, now we got everything pressure washed, cleaned off. We taped up the horns, the base. We're going to throw the solution in here and let it go for about 30 minutes, I think. You want to go ahead and pour about half that bottle into it. What we'll do is we'll save the rest of that. We're going to see how much wider this makes it, but we can always come back and paint more on once it dries of that solution. It's just a concentrate peroxide, basically. Amazon. I've seen blue bottles, I've seen red, not sure the difference, but we're going to go with this and see what happens. So we're going to let this do some magic while we go get a little bite to eat in us. Then we'll take it out. Hopefully it's wider. We'll see. All right, so we just got a bite to eat. This has been sitting in the solution for about 20 minutes now. I suspect it'll still be a little tintish of beige, yellow, whatever. Yeah, don't know. We're gonna find out here. I think if it is, then we let it dry a little bit, and then we'll paint the remaining concentrate peroxide stuff, hair care solution on top of this. Let that dry, but let's see how it's looking. No, definitely not white, but I can tell it looks a little different. So I guess we're going to rinse this off and then let it dry. These little parts right here are notorious for breaking off on these mounts, and so far it stayed intact, which I'm super happy about. But yeah, we're gonna give it a few more minutes, rinse it off, and then I will start putting the stuff on tomorrow morning. Let this kind of have a chance to dry some, and we will go from there. See how it looks. All right, we took it out of the solution water a while ago. It's been sitting out drying for a little bit. And we're going to take this concentrate and paint everything nice and white. It actually did a lot better than I thought it was when I first pulled it out of the water. I think we can make it a little bit better still.